Title: The Psychic Who Sees Death. Once upon a chilling autumn evening, in the small town of Willowbrook, lived an 18-year-old girl named Emily. She had always been drawn to the mystical and enigmatic aspects of life, harboring a deep curiosity about the world beyond the veil of the ordinary. This fascination led her to the doorsteps of Madame Serafina, a renowned psychic and fortune-teller. Emily had heard whispers about Madame Serafina's extraordinary abilities. Rumor had it that she possessed a deck of tarot cards that could unveil the darkest secrets of one's destiny, despite the warnings from the townsfolk about the unpredictability of Madame Serafina's predictions. Emily couldn't resist the temptation to seek answers about her own future. One moonless night, Emily made her way to the dimly lit parlor where Madame Serafina practiced her mystic arts. The room was adorned with crimson drapes and eerie candles that cast flickering shadows on the walls. A crystal ball rested at the center of a round table, and an eerie silence hung in the air. Madame Serafina, with her piercing eyes and a gaze that seemed to pierce through one's soul, welcomed Emily without a word. She gestured for the young girl to sit, and handed her a deck of ancient-looking tarot cards. "You seek answers, child?" Madame Serafina whispered, her voice sending shivers down Emily's spine. Emily nodded nervously and shuffled the cards before placing them back in the fortune-teller's hands. Madame Serafina began to lay the cards out, her bony fingers moving with an almost otherworldly grace as the cards fell into place. The atmosphere grew heavier, and Emily's heart raced. The psychic's eyes widened, and she drew a sharp intake of breath, her gaze locked onto a single card, the death card. A chill ran down Emily's spine as Madame Serafina turned the card to face her. "The cards have spoken, child," she muttered, her voice trembling. "Today, you stand at the crossroads of your destiny. Tonight, death awaits you." Fear gripped Emily's heart like icy tendrils. She couldn't believe what she had just heard. The room seemed to close in on her, suffocating her with its foreboding atmosphere. She stumbled out of the parlor, leaving the mystic behind, her words haunting her every step. Emily's mind raced as she tried to make sense of the ominous prediction. She contemplated locking herself in her room, but fear had already taken hold. The night was dark, the streets deserted, and the world seemed to conspire against her. Hours passed, and the clock struck midnight. Emily's heart pounded like a drum in her chest as she realized she had survived the fateful day predicted by Madame Serafina. Relief washed over her like a tidal wave, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister still loomed. In the days that followed, Emily lived in constant fear, haunted by the chilling prediction. She couldn't escape the feeling that death was still lurking, waiting for the right moment to strike. Each day was a torment as she wondered if Madame Serafina's cards had merely been delayed in their prophecy. The ominous cards had cast a shadow over Emily's life, and she couldn't escape the grip of terror that had taken hold of her. The line between reality and the supernatural blurred, leaving her trapped in a never-ending nightmare. And so, the chilling tale of Emily and Madame Serafina serves as a haunting reminder that sometimes the pursuit of the unknown can lead to a darkness that lingers long after the cards have been dealt. Emily's fear and paranoia continue to grow with each passing day. She couldn't escape the haunting words of Madame Serafina. and the weight of the death prediction bore down on her like an inescapable curse. Desperate for answers and a way to break free from the sinister grip of the cards, Emily decided to confront Madame Serafina once more. With a trembling heart, she returned to the mystic's parlor, determined to uncover the truth. Madame Serafina welcomed Emily back, her eyes holding an unsettling glint of anticipation. Emily hesitated, but knew that she had to face her fears head-on. She asked the psychic about the ominous prediction, her voice quivering as she recounted the night she had received the dreadful news. The fortune teller listened intently, her gaze never leaving Emily's face. When Emily finished her story, Madame Serafina spoke, her words slow and deliberate. "The cards do not lie, child, but sometimes their messages are not what they seem." Emily was puzzled. "What do you mean?" The mystic reached for the deck of tarot cards once more and began to shuffle them. With a sense of purpose, she then laid out a new spread, and Emily watched as the cards revealed a different story. The death card was no longer in sight. "You see," Madame Serafina explained, "the cards are a reflection of our deepest fears and desires. They can be a mirror to our souls, but they can also be a source of confusion." Emily felt a glimmer of hope, but still couldn't fully shake off the fear that had consumed her for days. "So you're saying I'm not going to die today?" Madame Serafina nodded. "The cards have given you a warning, a chance to reevaluate your life and choices. Death need not be a physical end. It can signify a profound transformation. Perhaps it's time for you to let go of something that no longer serves you and embrace a new beginning." As Emily left Madame Serafina's parlor that day, she carried with her a newfound perspective on life. The fear that had once bound her had loosened its grip, replaced by a sense of empowerment and possibility. She realized that her fate was not sealed by the cards but shaped by her own choices. From that day forward, Emily chose to live her life to the fullest, cherishing each moment and using the experience as a catalyst for personal growth. Madame Serafina's cards had delivered a profound lesson about the power of perception and the importance of embracing change. And so, the ominous cards that had once foretold Emily's demise became a symbol of rebirth and resilience, reminding her that even in the darkest of predictions, there is room for hope and transformation.